Hey, sixth graders, this is Lesson 9, Day 5. So, last day of Lesson 9 on adding and subtracting decimals, and it's supposed to get you ready for your quiz. So, we're going to work on some of these problems. Remember, there are no calculators allowed. And the first thing I want you to do is, make sure your book's on page 100. If it's not, pause the video and go get it. And the second thing I want you to do is to start by just doing number 1 and 2 completely on your own. As soon as you're done, restart the video. And I'm going to go over those two problems. Go. All right, so now let's see how you did. Did you show work for 1 and 2? Because if you didn't, you're going to have to pause the video and show work right now. If you did show work, continue watching. So number 1 says, Alice has 3 boxes to carry. One is 1.453 kilograms, one is 3.8 kilograms, and one is 11.39 kilograms. What is the total mass? First I'm going to do is estimate. 1.4 is about 1. 3.8 is about 4. And what was that, 11? Can't see it. 11.39 is about 11. If I add those up, I get about 16. So I am thinking the answer's got to be B or C. It won't be A and it won't be D. So now let's figure out which one of those two it is. So first, it's 1.453, 3.800, and 11.390. And I'm going to fill in some zeros here too. You don't have to fill in those. So first thing I want you to do is see if your problem is set up correctly. If not, you know you're going to have to be fixing it. Second, let's add. 300 is 3. 9 and 5 is 14. Don't forget to carry the 1. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They add up to 6 and 1. You have 16.643, which is B. All right, so if you had it wrong, I want you to pause, make your correction. Don't just change your answer. Understand what you did wrong. And after you fix it, then we'll go over number 2. All right, in number 2, it says Seth. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Seth had a 1.5-liter bottle of tomato juice, and he drank some. All right, that's what he had. He drank some. There was 0.895 liter left. When his sister Beth came back to get a snack, how much did he drink? Well, if you think, he had 1.5 liters and he drank some of it and then had that left, it's a subtraction problem. So did you subtract? Now, when I estimate, first 1.5, I'm going to keep 1.5. And 0.895 is about 1. So if I subtract, my answer should be somewhere close to 0.5 or half. So I know it's not A. You probably get that if you add. I am thinking it's probably D. But let me, because that's the one closest to half. So let me solve it and see. So first, it's 1.500 minus 0.895. So the first thing, is your problem set up correctly? If not, you may as well pause it and get it set up correctly. That way you can fix it with me in the video. All right, now, second, I need to do some regrouping. So let me do some borrowing. And this becomes a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 9 is 0. Can't do 4 minus 8, so let me borrow. 14 minus 8 is 6. So I have 0.605 liters, which is D. All right, so my estimate did get me that one if I had gone with it, but it was too close for comfort. All right, so how did you do on 1 and 2? If you made any mistakes, make sure you pause so you can correct them. But now, we are going to go on to number 3. Now, in number 3, you have, think of it as 4 problems. You're going to have to read this and then choose whether the statement is true or false. Now, you are going to have to show work for like more than one of these, so keep that in mind. Don't just think it's one problem. This is like 4 separate problems. So what I want you to do is do all A, B, C, and D. As soon as you're done, restart the video. Make sure you show work where needed and no calculator. Okay, go. Alright, so let's see what number 3 says. It says, Allie needs 30 meters of wood to build a large wooden frame. So that's what she needs. She bought 3 different lengths of wood measuring 12.5, 11.43, and 7.244 meters. Choose true or false for each statement. Alright, so before I start, I want to think about it. Remember, this is what she needs. These 3 numbers is what she bought. So I'm guessing they're probably going to ask us to, at some point, we're going to have to add those together to see what she bought. I'm guessing. Alright, A says Allie has, in total, 30.564 meters of wood to use for the frame. Alright, so I know to figure out that one, I do have to add those 3 numbers. So let me take care of that. So I have 12.5, 11.43, and I'm going to fill in a 0 there, and 7.244. Now I'm going to go back and fill in 3 zeros. Fill in a 0 there, helps me keep everything lined up. Let me add those up. I have 4, 7, 11, carry the 1, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, carry the 1, 3. I have 31.174, so I think that first one is false. Alright, so how did you do in A? Now, B says, after she builds the frame, Allie will have 1.154 meters of wood left. Alright, so let's think about it. She needs 30 meters. This is what she has. So if we take away 30 from 31.174, we'll see what she has left. See how I lined it up? Now, when I subtract, I get 4, 7, 1, 1, and that 0. So will she have 1.174 left? No. That one is also false. She'll have 1.15, or she'll have 1.174 left. This says she'll have 1.154 left. Okay, in C, it says Allie bought more wood than she needed in order to build the frame. So that one is true because she bought 31.174 meters and she only needed 30, so she did buy more. Alright, no extra work for C. In D, the total length of wood Allie bought is 1.154 meters less than the amount needed. That one is going to be false because it is actually more, not less. Okay, so if you have to, you could pause the video and make any corrections for problem 3. If not, if you're ready, let's move on to the next page. So now, here's what I want you to do next. I want you to do just number 4. Now, just so you know, this is a circle all that apply. So it's kind of like true or false because you have to figure out all the ones that are true. Alright, do number 4. Show your work when needed. No calculator. When you're done, restart the video. Go. Alright, so to get ready for number 4, I made some workspace up above so I can show work when needed. So number 4 says Sammy, Teddy, and Ursula ran a 100-meter race. Sammy's time was 15.03 seconds. So let me circle that. Teddy's and Ursula's times were 14.7 seconds and 15.03 seconds, respectively. Here's what that means. When they say respectively, that means the first name goes with the first time. So Teddy got 14.7, and the second name was Ursula, got 15.003. So that's what respectively means. Which statements are true? Circle all that apply. So A says Teddy ran 0.04 seconds faster than Ursula. So let me figure that out. So Ursula was 15.003. Teddy was 14.7. So to solve this one, I have to subtract the bigger time minus the smaller time. I get 3, 0. Do some regrouping. 3, 0, 0. So I don't need that last 0. So Teddy ran 0.404 seconds faster. That is not true. Okay, B says Teddy came in third place. So this one, let's just see which one is biggest or smallest. So first, Sammy's time was 15 point something. Ursula's was also 15 point something. Teddy's was 14 point something. Now, at first glance, you would say Teddy came in third place. But you have to know in a race, the lower time is faster. So Teddy actually came in first place. So don't circle B. Now, Teddy had the smaller number, but remember, that's first place in a race. C says Ursula ran 0.027 seconds faster than Sammy. All right, so Sammy's was 15.03, and Ursula was 14.7. Now, Ursula was definitely faster, so let's do some subtraction. We have to do 15 minus 03 minus 14.7. And I get 3, 3, 0, 0. So C is also not true. But you know what? I just realized I messed up because that 14.7 was Teddy's time. So let me go back here and fix that one. So that was a big mess up. Oh well, it'll take me a couple seconds to get this fixed here. Okay, now let's read it here. So Ursula ran 0.027 seconds faster than Sammy. So Sammy was 15.03 and Ursula was 15.003. So if I subtract 15.03 minus 15.003, now I can figure out if that's true. All right, so let me do some borrowing here. That's 7, 2, 0. The rest are zeros. So guess what? Ursula did run 0.027 seconds faster than Sammy. So that one is true. All right, and D says the time between the slowest and fastest run was 0.33 seconds. Okay, so the fastest run we already said was Ursula's. The slowest run would be the biggest number, which would be Sammy's. So in order to figure out the time between those, we have to subtract those. So I'm going to do 15.03 minus 14.7, fill in the 0, and now I get 3, borrow, 3, 0, 0, so that means D is true. So how did you do? Did you get C and D and not A and B? If you messed up, make sure you pause the video and make any corrections before you move on. All right, so now let's go to 5. I want you to pause the video, do number 5. Notice this one's going to say, what could she have done wrong? So I want you to write, probably 2 sentences will be enough to answer that question. All right, so pause it, restart it when you're done. Go. Okay, let's see how you did. Now, this one says, Kay was trying to triple a salsa recipe. Her recipe for one batch called for 1.232 milliliters of red hot pepper sauce. She thought she added 3 of that amount for 3 batches. When people dipped into the salsa, it was too spicy to eat. What could she have done wrong? Okay, so let's think about this for a second. If she's trying to triplet, that means you want to make it 3 times as strong, right? And our recipe for one batch called for 1.232 milliliters of red hot pepper sauce. She thought she added 3 of that amount for 3 batches. Now, if she did add 3 of that amount for 3 batches, it should be fine. When people dipped into the salsa, it was too spicy to eat. What could she have done wrong? Okay, so there's a lot of things she could have done wrong. She could have added too much. She could have added wrong. Maybe when she added, she didn't line up her decimals. There's a bunch of things. So this one, I'm not going to be too picky about what you write. So I'm going to write my possible answer now. Okay, so what I said, and like I said, you don't have to change your answer for this one. I said maybe Kay added it incorrectly. I said she should have gotten this. So I did add up the milliliters of red hot sauce 3 times. And this is what she could have had. Maybe she had the decimal here and had 36.96, and that would be really hot. I don't know. But whatever you have, if you have an idea, should be fine for that one. All right, last one, number 6. Let's go read this one, and let's have you do this one. Pause the video. Make sure you show your work. Make sure you describe down here what they're asking you to describe. As soon as you're done, restart the video. Go. Okay, so let's read the problem. It says, Stacy answered the problem below incorrectly. So she's subtracting 2 numbers and got this. Describe what she might have done wrong. Explain why her answer doesn't make sense, and then solve the problem correctly. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solve the problem correctly. I like to do that first. So over here I'm just going to write correct. So if you do 16.007 minus 0.55, add my 0, I'm going to see what the correct answer would be. So that would be 7. Have to do some regrouping. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. And that's 5. That's 1. So you should have 15.457, which is way off from that. So let's see. I solved the problem correctly. Explain why her answer doesn't make sense. Well, there I can tell you, if you estimate, I can tell you why it doesn't make sense. Because if you say 16.007 is about 16, 0.55 is about half. If I take half away from 16, I'm left with 15.5, which is close to the exact answer, but it's not anywhere close to what Stacy got of 10.57. And last, what might she have done wrong? I think I have an idea, because this is usually what people do. I'm thinking she didn't line up her decimals, but I don't know. I'm just going to test it out. So if I have 16.007, and if I don't line up my decimals and just have 0.55 here, what would I get? I would get 25951. No, I don't think that's it. Let me try something else. Okay. Oh, I think I might know. Let me try this. So 16.007. Let's say that was 5.5 instead of 0.55. I think I figured out what she did. Oops, hold on a second. Did you notice that should have been a 7 and I messed it up? Okay, that's 0, that's 1, and that's what Stacy did. I figured it out. Okay, did you figure that one out? So first, describe what she might have done wrong. Let me start with that. Okay, so I said Stacy subtracted 5.5 instead of 0.55 in her problem. Next, explain why her answer doesn't make sense. Well, I'm going to talk about how her answer isn't close to the estimate. So let me write down that explanation. Okay, so here's what I wrote. I said Stacy's answer doesn't make sense because it isn't close to the estimate of 15.5. Remember when I estimated up here? Got 15.5, and Stacy's answer was 10.507. All right, last thing, then solve the problem correctly. Well, guess what? I did that already. So that part is done. So that's all you needed to do for number 6. Did you do all 3 of those things? Did you figure out what Stacy might have done? And if you thought it was something different, you don't have to change that part of your answer. Did you explain, though, why her answer doesn't make sense? Did you estimate her answer first and then say her answer wasn't close to it? So if you didn't do that, you're going to want to do that in your own words. And lastly, did you solve the problem correctly? If not, make sure you do that. If you have all 3 of those things done, guess what? You are done with this lesson. And as always, thanks for watching. See you guys.